What's up, everybody? I'm back. Of course, today, Drew and Brock have both abandoned me. Except not really. They had stuff they had to go do. Drew had to go walk the dog. Brock is currently doing something else. So, today, we are playing Mega Man 3. This is the Famicom version as opposed to the normal version. Why the Famicom version? I don't know. I just felt like playing the Famicom version rather than... Because that's the one physical version I have of this game. I bought it while I was in Japan a few years ago, alongside Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 4 as well, because those are my favorite games from the series. So Mega Man, I've talked about it before, but it's a game that's near and dear to my heart. It's a game that sort of I grew up around, and I mean, Mega Man 3 is the best one of all of them, I think. Although Mega Man 2, there's a lot of strong cases for that game as well. I do think, for me, the boss enemies are just much more memorable for me than in like Mega Man 2 or something along those lines. And I mean, I've played this game a million times. And I'm excited to run through it, because usually the last couple of years at Extra Life, I've run through Mega Man 1 through 6 all at once, just in a big marathon. But this year we're not actually doing that, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to sort of jump into Mega Man 3, especially since it is my favorite Mega Man game. And, you know, we can probably finish it in like an hour or so. Although I'm not playing well at the moment. Go there. So I hope everyone's having an awesome night tonight. We're having a lot of fun so far on the stream. Of course, once again, this is our Extra Life stream, so we're going to be playing games for 24 hours. We started at noon today. We will be ending at 11 tomorrow morning, as there is a time change. So it's not a 25-hour stream, it's 24 hours. Basically, we're trying to raise money for Sick Kids, which is a charity directly helping children's hospitals here in Ontario. So I mean, for like Drew and myself, especially, like this is a cause we certainly want to help out. So yeah, I mean, we're doing this for fun. So if you got a few bucks to toss, that'd be awesome. There's a donation link over at game-boost.com/extralife. Just click on the big banner in the middle of the page, and it'll take you right to the download page, the donate page. If you don't have any bucks to toss, no worries. Just hang out. We'll talk about games. We'll be playing games. We do have some giveaways later tonight, but unfortunately, Brock has all the giveaway codes, and he's not here to give them out. So we'll actually be giving them out a little bit later tonight. So it's all good. I'm just grabbing that health just in case, because we're about to fight Magnet Man in a few minutes here. You know, I'm not certain. I haven't played Mega Man 3 in a while. Usually I actually like to play through all the Mega Man games, usually like once a month. But it's just been a little while since I've sort of jumped into these, because we've just had a busy holiday season as far as games are concerned. So I haven't had too much time to jump into Mega Man. So if I look a little bit rusty, that's why. But I can assure you we're going to finish this game. It's going to be awesome. Not like when we played the Lawnmower Man, because that game is like stupidly difficult for no real reason. It's also not a good game either. But there's that going for it too. Now, people who play Mega Man 3 know there's multiple ways where you can sort of start. I usually like starting with Magnet Man, because that's just what I'm used to. But, I mean, in theory, sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually go knock out Snake Man and Magnet Man sort of back to back. That way you can sort of just play how you want to from there. Because they're the two major pillars. Once you've beaten them, you can beat all the enemies at that point without having to use the Mega Buster again. Here we go, we got the Magnet Missile. Of course, the one thing that I don't think a lot of people sort of debate is the music in Mega Man 3 is probably the best soundtrack in Mega Man, in my opinion. Again, I can understand why people would also really like 2, or even 5 and 6 also have really good soundtracks as well. But yeah, just the music in Mega Man 3 is just so iconic. I love it, including like Snake Man's theme here, which is dope. Man, I'm getting the shit kicked out of me by these frickin' snakes. I feel like such a noob right now. I'm also playing this on the Retron that we were playing Turtles of Time on as well. So I am using an SNES controller rather than traditional NES D-pad. Just because I actually had NES D-pads, but they are currently broken. So I actually need to get new ones. I couldn't line that up because I don't know if you know this, but the camera itself is in the middle of the room, so it's a little bit hard to judge some of these enemies. We're gonna go up here. Let's see what Eddie's got for us. Even though Eddie's not in this game, aka Flip Top. The question mark boxes are basically what Eddie was before he existed. Snakehead number 2. Again, I jumped into that like a silly person. When I was a kid, I always thought you couldn't make that jump without using Rush Coil. And man, the first time I did it without it, it was just crazy. I couldn't believe that you could actually make that jump without it. Also, I love how like the sky part of this level is such an ode to Airman's level. Though I don't love these platforms because if you are standing still, it'll like knock you off the platform. Like the platform itself just knocks you off, which is bizarre. Just so much slowdown. The NES can just barely handle all this action. It's like when you go back and play Halo 1 and then you're driving around the Warthog and like the game can barely handle it. It runs at like 10 frames a second. And of course, I have to sort of look up when we go back there. Whoop. Got that missile. Got that missile. Got him. Perfect. Alright, it's Snake Man time. For the most part, Snake Man isn't that difficult of a boss. I mean, again, I had more trouble with his stage layout than him. He's not even that bad. We just sort of just use the middle platform to get around him. And we're just going to do this little dance with him where we just go back and forth until he dies. Easy peasy. Now we don't have to worry about using the Mega Buster, because you do have to fight 2 different enemies with the Mega Buster in this game. That's just the way they did the boss layout this time, which is weird, but okay. It's all good. Most of these enemies actually, other than Shadow Man, are actually quite doable using the Mega Buster. Shadow Man's the only one where it's like you're gonna need at least 1 E-Tank in order to beat him without the top spin. Hard Band, another great song. And we're just gonna scroll these bees off the screen. So we'll use Rush Coil here. Although actually, I've never tried using Search Snakes on this guy. I guess he's immune to it. See, that's a nice trick. I mean, we're gonna need those magnet missiles later, but it saves sort of jumping in front of them and getting hit. That's like the first time I've ever thought to do that, though. And I've been playing this game for ages, and I've never tried that before. Got him. This monkey is very annoying. Well, there you go. I didn't even need to finish him. He just finished himself. We're gonna grab the E-Tank from the top path. And slide on down. Of course, these enemies actually reprising their role from Mega Man 1 from the construction yard. We got some Mets. Yoink. I also try and scroll the bees off this screen as well, but I don't think I'm going to get them. Yeah, they didn't drop any power-ups. That makes me sad. And we died. Man, today I am not playing well. But that's okay. We still have 1 life left. It's usually a point of pride for me when I play this game. I usually don't die too often, so let alone the continue. I don't even remember the last time I actually used the continue in this game. So I'm hoping we're not going to get to that point. Grab that health. Just accidentally slid there. That's always fun. Boom. Grab that health. May as well kill that guy. Right, Magna Missile time, and let's kick Hardman's ass. And you have to sort of space it out because he has periods of invulnerability. And we were already low on magnet missiles, so that could have been annoying. But it's all good. Hardman down. 3 bosses down. 5 more to go. We got the hard knuckle. So, in theory, we could go do a whole bunch of them. We could go do Top Man, but we're gonna go do Gemini Man. We're gonna mix this up. Oh my god, two 1-ups in a row? That's pretty good luck, actually. Although I'm not getting good luck against these jumping enemies. Here we go, once again, our boy Proto Man. We're just running towards him in place. And it's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna show him off my dance moves, and that's why Proto Man runs away right there. We showed him up with our cool dance moves. I'm actually just going to just use Rush Coil and just grab that health. Even though I don't think we're gonna need it, we're gonna just grab it just in case. Just snipe those tadpoles. Up again. Boing. God, fighting these freaking tadpoles is annoying. Also, I love these penguin enemies simply because they use they shoot at the same penguins from Mega Man 1. Like, I love all the little Mega Man 1 references that are in this game, because I also have a soft spot from the original Mega Man. I'm actually happy that they have a lot of callbacks to it, like with the rock monster and these penguins, some other enemies in the game as well. May as well grab that health since we're here. Again, we don't actually have Rush Marine since we haven't defeated Top Man. So we actually have to do this the old school way. Of course, if we run out of Rush, then it's going to be bad news. And it's going to make me get this anyway, so I may as well use it now. Well, I need it. Grab that E-Tank. Whew! I just concentrate a bit there. Sorry about that, folks. Now, there's actually a very real chance that Gemini Man is going to kill me very quickly. We'll just try and kill him, I guess, because we'll have more than enough search stake. But like if it was another boss, I might sort of intentionally die here. Oh, one hit away. Oh well. All right, let's kill Gemini Man. Boom. Easy as can pie. Now, once again, we could sort of go take out Needleman now, get Rush Jet, or we could just keep going, kill Top Man. I think we're gonna go kill Needleman right now because there's no reason for us not to do that. I love that Needleman's like stage is like the cityscape. Like that's just so cool. Especially like when we revisit Needleman's stage, like it looks really awesome. I love like the starry sky that's in the night version of this level. Once again, OBS is not complying today. I guess whenever it reaches a certain time limit, it just seems to not want to transmit data anymore. I don't get it. Of course, now we're at Top Man. We just finished off Needle Man. We're just gonna sort of make complete the circuit around the remaining Robot Masters. In fact, actually, when I was a kid, what I would usually do is I'd actually start at Top Man and then go around that way. Because again, you could use Sparkman's weapon on Magnet Man. Although in this case, we just didn't happen to do that. And I really like the look of Top Man's level. I think it actually looks cool. I mean, way cooler than sort of what he kind of deserves, you know, being like a dude with a top on his head. Beat up that cat that has bugs in its back for some reason. And of course, we just walk on air through the transition. I love it. Ah, so close. I think it's actually not that bad being, like, it's actually not too difficult to be able to get that top guy without getting hit by him, but yeah, just didn't get good luck there. So, since we have Rush Jet, there's no reason for me to travel with these dumb top platforms, because we can just walk through. Equip the hard knuckle, aka the big punching thing, the big boxing glove. Boom. Top man is done. Other than Shadow Man, I don't think these guys are going to give us too much trouble, at least. Alright, so on to Shadow Man. Aw, thanks, Sean. I'm just mowing down all these Mega Man enemies. You missed out because you left and then everyone else left and it's just me hanging out playing Mega Man. Also, this is me not even at my best with Mega Man. I usually actually play a lot better because I'm usually a little more in practice. Bam! Proto Man down. Ooh, spooky. Again, you could actually use magnet missiles to actually take out those top enemies if you didn't actually memorize the stage layout like I have, but unfortunately, but realistically, we can just plow through this. Come on, there we go. You know, sometimes you just don't get those lucky bounces. We're gonna use the magnet missiles for these guys, because they can be a bit of a pain if you don't time things properly, but we can just sort of negate all that. Whoop. Alright, so we'll equip the top spin. Hopefully I won't die, or else this is gonna be a shit show. Boom! Easy as can pie. Again, the one enemy in this whole game that ever gives me any trouble is usually Shadow Man, and usually it's because you run out of top because you waste all your top, and then you have to usually go in mano, and yeah. You basically have to use like 2 or 3 E-tanks probably. Or at least I usually have to anyways, because I'm bad at video games. Alright, last enemy, of course, before we move on to the more difficult levels, Sparkman. Sparkman probably has like my favorite music other than sort of the Wily Castle theme in this game. Like it's so emotional. I love the music in this level. Again, just jumping in there like some kind of noob. I could kind of just jam out to Mega Man music all night, in case you were wondering. We don't even need to play any other games. We can just sit here and play Mega Man all night. Just jam out to some awesome tunes. And this is going to look a little bit weird, but I'm going to use Rush Jet to actually just fly through these things, because the timing just lines up perfectly where you don't get hit. In fact, we could just go up here, replenish our rust jet, as if it's nothing. And this fall here is very reminiscent of like the end of Mega Man 2, which I love. I like it more in sort of the revisit to Sparkman's level, where it's like all destroyed. It looks really, really cool. I like how too, if I slide on those rocks like Mega Man, just it pops me back a bit. Now once again here, we could sort of travel with the platforms, or we can just use Rust Jet just to skip over a lot of this stuff. Because we got these dumb little gears that just come together, but we can just fly over all this stuff. Switch to the Shadow Blades. The Shadow Blades, aka the less broken version of the Metal Blades from Mega Man 2. Just he thought he could just jump on my head, but I just threw a fucking ninja star at him. It's so good. So there we go. So we beat all 8 bosses in the all original 8 bosses, and then now we got to move on to the Mega Man 2 bosses. One of the coolest things, one of the coolest surprises from this game, especially if you've never played it before, or if you've played Mega Man 2 before and then went into this game, like it's so cool. I loved how this sort of happened. Then you had to figure out all these enemies all over again. So we're just gonna go back to Sparkman, just chill out to more of this awesome Sparkman music. Again, I hope everyone's having an awesome night out there. I know that there's a lot of really great streams going on right now with a lot of your favorite streamers with Extra Life going on. So, of course, if you're joining us here on Game Moose, I want to thank you again, of course, for joining us here. It means a lot. This is like the one use for the Gemini laser, and I totally fucked it up. Here we go. I just didn't use it as soon as we came in there. They just had to reuse those guys from Mega Man stage, of course. So the first enemy I believe we're gonna fight is Metal Man here. Of course, Metal Man weakest to his own weapon, of course, but second weakness to the Magna missiles. You know, because he's made of metal. It makes sense. You know, logic. Boom. Yeah, I love like sort of the spikes here. Like it's so cool. Of course, somehow we managed to scroll that enemy off the screen. Also, I like too that in the Famicom version, the screw enemies don't actually flicker a ton. Like they sort of connect straight together. It doesn't. You're not really like having one of the ends be invisible. Because flicker, I find, is actually a lot worse on the NES version as opposed to the Famicom version of this game. Of course, I totally fucked that up. That's all good. Gotta get that slowdown. And I believe we are now fighting Quickman. Now, Quickman's weakness, of course, is the fucking Gemini laser because it's a terrible weapon for terrible people. And of course, I accidentally fired it the wrong way, but somehow it worked out. Boom. We got him. I was scared. I might have had to use an energy tank there, but nope. We took down Quick Man just fine. So the first of 4 stages is down. Let's just go do Gemini, man. I mean, realistically, it doesn't matter what order we do these in, but it's like, do I want to go up or down, or do I want to go like left or right? Those are the tough choices, ladies and gentlemen. There. Oh my god, I'm just getting beat up there. Oh well. Of course, we got more of these frickin' tadpoles that I am not a huge fan of. Again, they're not too difficult. In fact, you can almost cheat the system a bit by playing on the Mega Man Legacy Collection, since it has auto fire, so you can just hold down the button and just mow all those eggs down. Let them come to us. Again, I usually go through the top area here, but you can just really go through the bottom. So we're at our first boss, which is Flashman. Now, if I remember correctly, he's weak to the needle cannon, but I could be remembering incorrectly. Again, they sort of reuse what enemies are actually used to, like weak to in this mode. A lot of them are actually weak to either the needle cannon or the shadow blades, something along those lines, or even the Gemini laser, as much as I hate the Gemini laser. Of course, realistically, that little platform there is like the one area you can actually legitimately get stuck in. If you somehow are out of Rush Jet or Rush Coil, you just wouldn't be able to progress from there, which is crazy. So we're going to use Rush Marine for the first time, because we didn't use it before. We didn't have Rush Marine the last time we were here. Though honestly, we could have just as easily used Rush Jet instead. Got that. Come on, health. So here we could actually just sit here and farm a lot of these enemies if we were sort of really low on health, but we don't really need to do that. Just because the final enemy we're going to fight is Bubble Man. Bubble Man's weak to the Shadow Blades, and he's kind of a pushover. Here we go. Shadow Blade time. Even if for some reason we died here, the Shadow Blades don't use too much energy, similar to the Metal Blades. So for the most part, we don't really have to worry too much about that. Got him. With one sliver of health left. And I was talking shit about Bubble Man too, so that's even more surprising. Alright, so now we'll just move on to Needle Man, because why not? Because I don't like Shadow Man, I guess. His stage actually isn't too difficult, though. And I think Needle Man, out of the 4 of them, is probably the toughest level. And just to give sort of the history as well, like this is basically like sort of taking over like for the idea of having a second castle in later Mega Man games. So again, we'll just have the Wily's Castle with a few stages, as opposed to Mega Man 2, or sorry, Mega Man 4, which had 2 castles. Dr. Cossack. Again, we don't really need to go for that one up. Because we got 5. Although, what am I doing? We have to use Rush Jet anyways. You use Rush Jet so much on this stage, it kind of makes me sad. Alright, so we got Airman. Now, if I remember correctly, Airman, because I'm a little rusty, I believe Airman's actually weak to the hard knuckle, but we really don't need to use it on him. Because for the most part, we're just gonna lay into him a bit. Or, you know, we'll just die. That works too. Well, that was a rookie mistake. So next time I will just use his other weakness. That's fine. I think that's the first time we've actually died, like, not on purpose at a boss today. Those are pretty good numbers, actually. And we still have that one up in this level if we want it as well, since we haven't claimed it yet. In fact, we may as well grab it, just in case. So once again, Airman, round 2. God, the slowdown is freaking unbearable. We'll just use any tank since we have more than we need anyways to finish the game. Boom. Not as clean as I wanted it to be, but you know, it's all good. We want that Rush Jet energy. So basically, it's sort of to conserve Rush Jet, since just in case we die, we'll have to do this over again. You can get really screwed that way. We're to sort of jump as much as we can on here. Plus, it sort of keeps the dragonflies away from us by doing that. So this one. Because basically, if you jump while on Rush Jet in this particular game, then Rush Jet actually uses less energy. I don't know how, you know, the logistics of that work, but, you know, science, I guess, right? You know? It's a thing. And we'll just use Rush Jet again, because there's no reason not to. Again, we're going to want to take out as much of this guy's health as we possibly can before he goes up. Also, somehow I got hit by air, which, whatever, it's fine. Again, I kind of want him to drop Mets because it gives us some more health to work with. But once again, we just slid into nothing. That's fun. All right, so the enemy here is Crashman. Which I don't think magnet missiles are his weakness. Oh. Alright, we have 4 lives to do this. I'm actually pretty sure it's the needle cannon. Sure of this, folks. Also, I did not mean to slide there, but whatever. Oh my god. You know, Sean, you were very impressed with me before, but now what do you think? I'm not doing so well right now, man. I'm just showing my rustiness right now. It's just, you know what it is? We played the Lawnmower Man for too long today. I feel like the VR functionality of that game is sort of just wearing on my brain in ways I just didn't comprehend at the time we played it. Alright, Crashman down, which means there are only 2 more enemies left to go from Mega Man 2. We got Woodman, and we got Heatman. Then we are off to Mr. Wily's castle. He can be a Mr., I swear. Whew, that was a little close for comfort. Yay, health! Alright, so from here, you could either just totally go across this treacherous platform yourself, or you could just do this. Since you have Rush Jet. There's no reason to sort of fiddle with this if you don't have to. I mean, unless you don't have Rush Jet energy, I guess, for some reason at this point. So we're heading on to Woodman. Woodman's weakness is the needle cannon. Why? Because needles get stuck in trees? I don't know the logic there. I feel like that's when they threw logic out the window. Oh my god, he jumped on me, which dealt more damage. Again, I was doing so well. You cursed me, Sean Capri. You cursed me, because now I'm not playing as well as usual. rush jet it up again. And just sort of jump. And we're even just gonna fly over these grenade guys again. Alright. Re-equip the needle cannon. Let's take Woodman out. He's gonna jump on us, so we may as well use a new tank. There we go. So Woodman down. We got these green motherfuckers. You gotta sort of slide under them and then move back. And just like we did before, since we're not really using the magnet missiles against Heatman, we may as well use it here. And I like sort of how each sort of stage is set up, almost like a preview as to like what kind of enemy you're gonna fight next. So again, it looks very lava-like, so we're gonna fight Heatman. So Heatman himself is probably one of the easier robot masters, despite the fact that you actually fight, usually, more often than not, fight him at the end of Mega Man 2. For the most part, we can just keep him moving. Boom. Heatman down. And now we're off to Wily's Castle, of course. And in fact, it's 8:30, which means, in theory, I should be able to beat this game before Brock or Mr. Drew return. So of course we got Breakman here. Now again, Breakman being Proto Man, but at this time he was known as Breakman until you sort of get to the end of the game and find out he's actually Proto Man is what his name is. And this fight here is not really meant to be challenging. It's more just like a cinematic battle just to show that we're chasing Breakman to Wily's Castle. Of course, you can't actually read what it says, but Light is freaking out because him and Wily were developing a robot together called Gamma. Gamma was stolen by Wily, and now Wily is flying away, of course, in his trademark fashion, with the eyebrows. You can't see me doing but I'm doing the eyebrows here. So again, here we go, Wily's Castle. Again, this is my favorite music out of any Mega Man game is this castle theme. I love it. It's so good. And the music overall in Mega Man 3 very strong, but the music in Castle Level 1 and 2 is just so good. Also, once I eventually obtain the password to basically come straight to Wily's Castle with all the boss power-ups and 9 energy tanks, like that's what I did every time. Mostly, actually, just to hang out and listen to this music, which is kind of crazy. Actually, the only other time I can think of doing that is Super Metroid. I would actually intentionally go to the lower Brinster area and just hang out there, just because I love the music in that area. So again, you can sort of use the hard knuckle to knock some of these out. Again, I'm just grabbing them for lives because you never know with some of my bad luck right now. We might need these. And for the most part, we can sort of get all of these items. Because even we'll have a refresh of the hard knuckle in the middle platform. Also, I selected Rush Marine because I'm silly. Boom. We're just long-range sniping this Hammer Joe. They used to be snipers, and then they got these, like, hammers they just throw at you. Or I guess we could just attack him with the magnet missiles from underneath him. There we go. That's the lesson we learned earlier. Again, very simplistic puzzle here. Of course, Mega Man getting stuck in the wall. And again, we could go up there. Item management. When you get to Wily's Castle, since the power-ups don't actually fill up after each level, it's good to sort of fill up when you can. So, actually, I should have just equipped the Shadow Blades because that's what we need for this first boss. Because we're essentially going to attack these turtles that he launches. And they're going to get sort of increasingly faster and faster as we get through this. Also, I cannot aim for that turtle to save my life. I don't know what's going on. And there we go. So boss 1 down. And the next boss is probably the hardest boss in Wily's Castle, which is the rock monster from Mega Man 1, of course. I mean, the clone of Mega Man as well that you actually fight in Stage 3 is actually probably a tougher boss, except for the fact that, of course, there's an easy way of just killing him in one hit. Grab the Shadow Blade while we can. We're gonna get a sort of a boost for Rush Jet a little bit later. Again, we don't really need that live because we've got 5. We're also sitting pretty at 5 E-Tanks as well, despite the fact that we've already used 2 of them. Just scrolling some of those bees off the screen. Get this one off. And we're sort of use Rush Jet over this just in case something happens. Yes, there's the bees there too. So we use this one here and then sort of have it set up so that we don't need to grab one for a while. So we're almost actually full on E-Tanks because you can only have a certain number. We only have 9 in this game. In fact, we'll go up top. So here we go. We're already at the rock monster. The rock monster you can actually kill a couple ways, either through Shadow Blades or the Hard Knuckle. I prefer the Hard Knuckle, unless you have auto fire on, of course, because it's cheating, but at the same time, it kills them way faster with the Shadow Blades. Also, again, having a soft spot for Mega Man 1, having the rock monster in this game is just so cool. It's almost weird that they didn't bring the rock monster back in other games. So close. Now, just for safety's sake, and because we have 7 E-Tanks, it's okay to use one there. And final shot. Ba-bam! Punched in the eye. Of all things. Of course, again, you can actually get under him and actually shoot the shadow blades up. But again, that's a little harder to do without auto fire. So it's usually better to do it that way. Just take him out from the bottom because it's just a little bit easier. Slide this way. Since we're actually going to need the hard knuckle later, it's actually worthwhile to grab some of these. So getting hit to get them is not ideal. Yeah, whatever. There we go. Grab yet another E-Tank. Again, if we actually hadn't used any E-Tanks, we actually would have been full up a while ago. So I'm actually glad we used them sort of on the earlier bosses when we used them. Because I kind of like to hoard the E-Tanks. Because I'm silly like that. Past him. He's just sort of guarding that just brick wall by himself. Really bizarre. And this area looks more complex than it actually is, but it's really just jumping on each one of these things. Also, kind of a weird room because it's like almost like half put together. I don't know. Again, a lot of the elements of this game are almost half finished just because the development was a little bit rushed on this game. So it didn't actually have time to sort of have like a proper introduction put in at the beginning, or certain elements like that room just have no background. It's just obvious that there was something going on. So trick to this boss is, you can actually, the one at the top is always the correct Mega Man at the beginning. So if you miss him, no big deal, because top spin is sort of his weakness. Which of course we missed it there because I wasn't paying attention. But, so the top spin itself just kills that guy in one hit. And he's actually a bit of a pushover once we actually don't get him. We'll just do this room again. Plus, that's the karma for us going after the question mark blocks and then getting a life out of it. Boom! Problem solved. Now, if you didn't use the top spin, you could actually just use any other weapon to beat Mega Man, but each level sort of has two fakes and then one real one. And it's always random after the very first selection. Magnets. 2 top, because we're going to need that for Shadow Man. 1 hard knuckle, and of course, rushed coil, I guess, because we're not going to probably be back here. Barring us using a continue. Look at that, another life. Again, these guys so much like Dustman or Gutsman, just throwing the same blocks as Gutsman did. So here's the part where we fight all the Robot Masters all over again. Again, the nice thing is a lot of them drop health. So for the most part, we shouldn't have to worry about health too much. However, I chose Needleman first because I'm a dummy, which means I'm just going to jump into him. Because we'll just restart in the same place. There we go. So again, we got Gemini Man now. Switch to Search Snakes. Yike. Just grab this health every time. Magnet Man, now we can actually use the Spark Shot against him, which is actually his weakness. Should actually make his fight go a little bit faster. Hard Man now. Boom. Easy as can pie. Top Man. Switch to Hard Knuckle. Grab that. Since we have full health, we'll take out Shadow Man next. Again, Shadow Man is like the one you either want to do first if you have, like, you want to sort of do when you have full health. Just in case your plan to use the top spin goes awry, you'll have at least some health to go along with it. I was like, maybe I'll go on that one, but actually Snake Man's up there and I already equipped his weapon. And last but not least, we got Sparkman. So we'll just equip the Shadow Blades. Boom. And unlike other Mega Man games, after you finish all the boss robots, you don't actually have a boss fight after that, which is nice. Again, the main one we want here is Top Spin because it's used against the final boss. And we're not really going to use the needle cannon or anything like that again. Oh, but we just jumped through here anyways, so. So I usually like to use Search Snake here. You can actually use Shadow Blades here as well if you wanted to. In fact, you can probably use Shadow Blades for the whole boss, but... And then from here, I usually just use Rush Jet. Just sort of just fly over him. Also, look at that flicker. Holy crap, there's so much flicker going on. Boom! And Wily is defeated, except he's not really defeated, but we're led to believe the fact that he is defeated. Of course, it's Dr. Wily, but it's not! It's a robot with a spring head for some reason. Who knows? And of course, here we've got this like area that's just is completely dark and has nothing going on. So we'll grab Search Snake. And that's really all we need, because for the most part we use Shadow Blades, and then Search Snake if needed, but otherwise Top Spin. So this is Gamma. This is actually the robot that Light and Wily were actually building together. That was stolen. And again, he's sort of meant to be like a peacekeeping robot. And of course now here's like the super crazy version of him. reprogrammed by Wily with a big fist that you use to jump up. And here we go. Boom! Wily is defeated. Mega Man 3 is completed. Somehow, we managed to finish this before the guys came back. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I honestly, I love Mega Man 3. It's such a great game. And honestly, yeah, if you're looking into classic video games, look no further than the Mega Man 3. Despite the fact that you can't even read what it says, because we got the Japanese version. I'm just checking here. It looks like someone liked a donation, but it doesn't look like any came in through. So, anyways, again, I hope everyone's having an awesome night so far. Again, this is Game Moose's extra live stream running 24 hours from noon until 11 tomorrow a.m. because 11 it's a time change tonight, so it will be 1 in the morning twice. So we're going to be running until 11 a.m. and hopefully not falling asleep here. Of course, we're helping raise money for sick kids, which helps children's hospitals here in Ontario. So again, if you would like to donate, please hit up our donation link below on the video here. You see game-moose.com/extralife. Just click the big banner in the middle of the page. It'll bring you right to our donation page. And again, if you've got no bucks to toss, no worries. Again, continue to hang out. We'll continue to do some awesome content as well. Again, we'll be doing some giveaways a little bit later once Brock and Drew come back. Again, we still have to discuss how we're going to do that, but we have some awesome codes we want to give out to you guys. So stay tuned to our channel. Again, there's also lots of great Extra Life content going on from all your favorite streamers out there as well. So obviously, if you're spending it with us, honestly, I can't be happier. So thanks again for tuning in tonight. Now, again, we're going to sort of find out who designed all of these robots. Again, starting with Mega Man 2, all of the boss robots, while drawn by Inafune, sort of are results of contest entries. So these are all people like little kids in Japan, basically, who wrote into Capcom with their boss designs, and then sort of Inafune just drew them in the Mega Man style. And that in Mega Man 6 specifically, we have 2 Robot Masters, one from Canada and one from the United States, which is awesome. I believe the Canadian one is Windman, and then the United States one is Nightman. It's either that or I've got them backwards, but essentially those are the 2 that we've got going. Of course, we got all of these in the credits here. We've got all of the Japanese developers who at the time just couldn't give out their information, so they had to sort of come up with nicknames. Like Inafa King is Inafune, Bamboo is someone. Under the special thanks, of course, they can put their names because, again, I don't think they were programmers at the company. They were just people who helped out. Also, it's kind of crazy when you look back on a game like this because this was made with such a small team of people at Capcom, as opposed to the way games are designed now, where there are just so many more people involved. Boom, boom, boom. Presented by Capcom. And of course, this is just going to loop forever. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to set up the next game. Now, the plan is once Drew and Brock both arrive, we're going to play Hidden Agenda. So we're going to do that once those guys return. So we kind of just want to pick something we can play in the Inamiri. So I will be right back in 5 minutes once I have changed out games. And I'll see you guys back here in just a minute.